How you doing? This is Brother Noyze.
D-CYPL.
We're here at Hard Candy Land Private Studios, and I've been doing a series of interviews of some of my favorite MCs. We had Lyrical Justifier here, we had Just Jules, and now we've got my man D-CYPL here. Not only a producer of hip hop, trip hop, R&B, pop, what have you, any type of music that he wants to put his mind to, he can, and put a new spin, whether it be a modern spin, whether it be like a classic, jazzy, inflected hip-hop spin, 90s boom bap, whatever. Dope producer. You know, I've watched this man come up in the ranks from being on a street team to being an MC, to being like a lyricist of many types of music, to being a sample editor, music producer, an amazing songwriter. We are in a group together, Mk836. We have an album out now called With Us or Against Us. He also has an album with Lyrical Justifier titled Mark for Life under the name Jersey Advocates. They also have an album coming out soon called Microphone Control under Jersey Advocates. Very prolific writer as far as beats goes, lyrics goes, amazing flow, amazing lyrics as an MC. This man has written, you know, probably more tracks for me as an artist than any other producer out there. I'm a producer myself. I've written many tracks myself, but if I'm going to go to anybody else on a regular basis, it's going to be D-CYPL to get beats from. And if you have any respect for me as a producer, then you know if I'm deferring to somebody else for production, for beat writing, you know it's got to be somebody dope. I don't even mess with other producers except for Soulbuck. DJ Soulbuck, I get beats from him. But anybody else, you know, it's my man right here. There's another cat. We call him Will from MFL. He's a cat named Will Stevens I grew up with, who actually taught me how to construct a song. Taught me a lot about production. That's the only other cat. Him, Soulbuck, Will, and D-CYPL. 3 cats in the whole known universe I get beats from. And no disrespect to Will and Soulbuck, my man D-CYPL has contributed maybe 50 or more beats in the last couple of years to this label, and many albums that are coming out have tracks by him, and our styles are so similar sometimes that I have to look at the original song titles to know whether I wrote the beat or whether he wrote the beat, because it's just like, I'm kind of like, was he influenced by me, or is it just from us being around each other, or is it just coincidence? I'm not certain. I can't take the credit that I influenced this young man, because I did not sit down with him and say, I'm going to teach you this, I'm going to teach you that. He learned what he learned on his own, or whatever source. I'm sure I don't know if he watched any YouTube channel to learn anything. I don't think he did. I think he just sat down with his software and his equipment and taught himself. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to ask this great man, this great citizen of the world, this great family man, this great friend to his friends. I'm going to ask him some questions here, and I'm a little biased, because this is one of my best bros, one of my best buds. Great deal of mutual respect here. Anyway, D-CYPL, I got some questions for you. So what has been going on with you for the past few years? What's been going down with you artistically, professionally, career-wise, musically?
Well, you know, I've been working on the mixtape. I've been working on a new mixtape. I haven't quite decided on the title of it yet. I've been bouncing back and forth in between a few. I don't want to say them here simply because I don't want anybody to take them.
Right.
You know, just making a lot of beats, trying to get my name out there a little further, and yeah, just making my way back around here. You know.
All right, cool. Let me ask you a question. When you first started producing for at the time, Hard Candy Records LLC, well, Hard Candy Records Incorporated. I'm actually forgetting the name. Okay. When you first started producing for Hard Candy Records Incorporated, and a lot of the artists who were here at that time, like that whole camp that we had, you know, the Mag Fifths, the Tiffany Nikitas, you know, Jake Skylar, all these cats were here. And they had such a strong reaction to your production where they were like, yo, did Chris produce that? Can I get a beat from Chris? Like, how did that make you feel? Like, how did it make you feel that you were that well received right out the gate?
Well, happy I was received that well. It's a nice feeling, you know what I mean, to have people appreciate your work, you know, I mean, I'm glad that they liked it because I enjoyed making it, and just try to keep the quality up, that's all.
Right.
That's all I was thinking, just try to keep a good quality going.
Right. And what was that moment for you, or maybe it is just come, or maybe it came a few years ago, I'm not sure, in your journey as a producer, a beat maker, a beat writer, whatever you want to call it, in your journey, what was that moment for you where you were like, aha, I think I'm here, I think I'm ready, I think I'm the man for a minute. At least you kind of were smelling yourself, you're feeling yourself for just a minute, like, I know I've arrived, I can make dope beats. Like when you knew you had what it took. What was that moment for you?
Well, you know, I constructed a lot of stuff, and it's usually come out really well, and you've given me a lot of praise, and I always appreciate that. And that helped me know that I was definitely on the right track. But actually, it didn't come till recently that I came up with a song. I was at work coming up with a song, and it started out sort of making fun of this dude, and you know, me and the guy are cool, so you know, I wasn't making fun of him for no reason. I mean, he was just
in good
his
fun.
old tricks,
yeah, good fun.
So I decided to make, you know, and while I was making fun of him, I came up with a hook, and I started coming up with a song, and I told him, you know what, I might make this into a song, and he didn't like that much, but I guess he kind of realized that I couldn't go any other way with it, and then I went home and I actually made the exact type of track that I needed for, you know what, making tracks and writing songs. Sometimes it doesn't always come together till the end.
Right.
You know what I mean? You start doing stuff and you start thinking of stuff, and then even when you start listening to some of your own beats, and you listen to some of your own beats and you're like, okay, that fits that, and then it starts like formulate. I actually went home and wrote exactly what I needed for myself, and I've been doing this since me and Steve, we got the program Fruity Loops for his mom's computer back, and that was like in 04, 05 or something like that.
Right.
And it might have even been earlier than that. And
for those of you who don't know, Steve is a lyrical justifier.
LJ. I apologize.
LJ, lyrical justifier, from Jersey Advocates, and also his own solo.
Yes.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My rhyme partner / the amazing artist LJ, lyrical justifier, we started working on that, and then I went and I got my own computer and started working on all that stuff, and I wound up working a lot with Acid, and I wound up getting my own drum machine and all that other stuff, and but it didn't really come till I was able to go back and make exactly what I needed for myself. And not that I haven't been able to do some of that before, but it just very, very quickly came together.
Right, it was just a key moment, like I said, where it just really, you just knew, I have it.
Yes,
it's that
an amazing feeling.
It's like self-actualization. It's like being able to envision something and then to create it in real world, whether it be a song, a painting, a dress, if you're a dress designer, baking a cake, a pie, a dish out of chicken and garlic and vegetables, whatever it is. That's that moment I was actually looking for from him. That moment where you are able to take your craft and summon it. It's kind of like, let's have a little fun for a minute. It's like in a superhero movie where the guy is endowed with powers, or the female superhero is endowed with powers, but they can't summon those powers at will. And at that point where they go through their training and all of a sudden they can bring the powers about at will, that's what I mean when it comes to production or songwriting or any craft, when you can say, I would like to create a trap beat, or I would like to create a rock song, I would like to be able to create hip hop or 90s hip hop, and you just summon it. that is that key moment. And this this man, like I said, for me, a key moment was I've heard him create you know, trip hop and hip hop and all types of beats before, but the other day we're sitting in a car and he's like, "Yo, I wrote you a track. It's a trip hop track." It is like, he says, one of the first times I just straight ahead was like, I'm about to create a trip hop track. And it blew me away, because I a lot of times I rhyme, you know, mid-tempo, slow, kind of like Massive Attack style, you know, rhyming. But this track is like 128 beats per minute, and there's no going slow on this. I don't care if you're taking that David Bowie theory where you're going like half the tempo of the beat and just elongating your flow. No, it's not happening. This track, you got to be rapid fire. I sat there in the studio with this track, wrote the rhyme, went in the booth, epic fail, because I'm like mumbling. I'm shishka whiskeying, which we say when you kind of mumble your lyrics, because you're trying to stay on that flow, but you skipping words. I was like, yo, I'm defeated by this beat, and I'm like saying to myself, am I gonna use studio trickery? And I'm like, no. I got like the artists get, where they're like, no man, I'm not gonna punch in. I'm not using studio technology. I'm not using modern technology to do this song. I'm gonna be a true MC about it. So I literally said, nah man, if I can't deliver this rhyme, then it's not good enough. Then I delivered it. And all of a sudden it's like, no, it's not perfect. I wanted to be rapid fire. I wanted to be like the greatest MC who ever lived on this track. And I knew from that amazing beat, I knew from how it pushed me as an artist to want to be a better MC. I said, whether he realized it or not, is like there. When you can hand an artist a track that is beyond them, but they want to meet it. They're not saying, well, this is not for me. They're saying, no, I will grow. If it takes me a month, if it takes me longer, I will grow till I can fit these pants, Dad. I want to wear your pants, Dad. I'm just joking out. But when you get to that point where you're like, I want to fit this beat. I want to be ready for this beat. And that's how I felt. I was like, yo, I gotta grow into this, man. So I just, like, you know, like I said, I wrote the rhyme. It's just like so rapid fire, so dope. The hook is amazing. I'm ready. You know, I can sing the hook. It's gonna be dope. But anyway, let me ask you another question. Go ahead.
I just want y'all to know, I was laughing during the whole punching thing because I am super guilty of not wanting to punch. He'll tell you, I'm so stubborn about not wanting to punch. He'll tell you, there's been a few times when it's been like, I'll even if it's not going right, and he'll tell you it gets very tense in the studio, but I'll not want to punch, and I'll finish it anyway. So I know
definitely.
He knows I know that exact feeling. So.
99% of the MCs around here do not believe in punching in. Like, nobody wants to punch in. I've got bass players who come here as session musicians who will sit for an hour, learn a complete song that they've never heard before so that they can play their bass line note for note. And I literally sometimes I'm like, look, you've heard of cut and paste, right? You heard of punching in, right? You know, I'm just gonna copy the best parts of what you do anyway. But anyway, the whole point, what I really want to know from you, man, what's going on with you as an MC? Like, I noticed the first song you did after that little hiatus you had from recording here, the song, you went ham. You went straight ham on that verse. Like, what's you got a vendetta? I mean, you got like you got something to prove? Like, what's going on with you in this mixtape? It's like, it seems like it's beyond a mixtape. It seems like a full-fledged album as far as the intensity. Like, what's up with this? Like, you know, what's your whole manifesto with this?
I mean, I guess, you know, the whole, you know, street album thing, whatever they call it, you know, where the mixtape does sound more like an album than a mixtape, which is probably what's gonna wind up happening. But I do want to get it out there and, you know, let people just download it, and then they can, you know, so this way I can start working on an album and get a feel for what I really want out of me as an MC.
Right.
You know what I mean? As far as
your solo career,
yeah, as far as my solo career and just, you know, just what I want to do versus, you know, sometimes what the people want is always different. And, you know, you should never make your music for other people in the sense of let them dictate what you do as an artist. But,
right.
you know, sometimes, you know, people are feeling this and that, you know, it's good to find a balance to what you do versus, you know what I mean? You can't do the same thing all the time. So, you know, just trying to find a balance. But mainly it's just taking as much dope stuff as I possibly can and throwing it on the mixtape, and I'm gonna give it to the people, let them listen at will.